Hey everybody, I'm Grandmaster Ben Feingold. This is 5 Minutes with Ben, and I'm Ben. We're going to go off the beaten track here, and instead of showing you a game that was played 80 years ago, which I usually do, we're going to show a puzzle. Although, I want to call it a puzzle. It's sort of like an Endgame lesson. And if you've watched all of my YouTube videos, all of my streams, then you've seen this before. On the other hand, like 85% of you that have seen this before forgot what the answer was. So, and probably if you know the answer without seeing it before, you're probably over 2100. And, 99% of my viewers are under 2100 because 2100 is, higher rated than everybody. Okay, this ending is very simple because there's only one pawn each. It's black to move. Black's going up the board because this is from black's perspective. If black was going down the board, black would play here. Both sides would queen, and the game would be a draw. That wouldn't be very exciting. Now, if you have the black pieces, you know that white's going to go here and take the pawn. And if white takes the pawn, white's winning. Because the white king is 2 squares in front of the white pawn. So black can't get the opposition. And I'll show you why. I thought I told it black to move. Oh! Okay, give me a second. I told it black to move, but it didn't listen. So I have to do this all over again. Man, I can't believe I messed that up like that. Okay, there's this thing that says whose turn is it, and I put black. Oh, I put black and it doesn't work. Okay, now it worked. I had to do it twice. That's crazy. Crazy like Fox News. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, now, back to what I was saying. This will be 6 minutes with that. If black just moves the king and says, "Ha-ha, I have the opposition. Look at me." Well, white's king is 2 squares in front of the pawn. So in this position, white plays e4, and white says, "Ha-ha, I have the opposition." Now black's king moves one side or the other. White moves the king up, and so forth. Okay. Now, if you want to draw this with black, there's 2 things you have to know. First thing is, you're going to lose the pawn. So you have to lose it in the best way possible. Other thing you have to know is distant opposition. If you were never taught or saw distant opposition, it's almost impossible to solve this problem. Now, I kept explaining that white's king was 2 squares in front of the pawn. That's why white was winning. So what black has to do to draw this is immediately give up the pawn. That move actually draws. And after takes, black has all these legal moves, but only one of them draws. The obvious move is king f7. And now this is actually funny. White has 9 legal moves. 9. 8 with the king and 1 with the pawn. And one of those 9 moves wins. Not too hard to find. King f5 is the only winning move, and white has the opposition. And now black has to give way. White moves the king forward, etc. So in this position, king f7 loses, but black does have a drawing move, and that's king f8. That's the distant opposition. So if white plays king f5, black gets the opposition and draws. This is a draw because it's white's turn to move. And if white plays king e5, king e7 draws. That's the opposition. The trickiest move, like if I had white, I would play king e4. Again, black only has one move that draws, and it's still the distant opposition again. The only drawing move is king e8. Now, if the king moves forward, I'm going to oppose the king and get the opposition. So king f5, king f7, although king d7 also draws. King e5, king e7, king d5, king d7, and this is a drawn position. Now, if you know king and pawn versus king, where you have a drawing position, this should be relatively easy. It's not relatively easy, but it should be. Okay, so in the starting position, if you want to draw with black, you have to play d4, you have to play king f8, and after here, you have to play king e8. It's not so obvious unless you know distant opposition, or if you've seen this position before, that would help. And this position can occur in a lot of iterations. I just set up one of the positions. I could set up a dozen positions that have the exact same theme. I just set up one where black was in a lot of trouble and had to play perfectly to draw. Hope you enjoyed that. A little bit different than our usual content. I'm Grandmaster Ben Feingold. This has been 5 Minutes with Ben. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.